Okay. Happy Sunday morning. Let me type in good morning on Facebook. And then I'm going to type in good morning here on Instagram. All right. I think we are there on both. Let me shut this off, the mail, so we don't hear clicks. All right. We are here. Let's see what we got going on. Okay. My sister joined. My sister on Instagram. Say good morning. Give me a wave. Stephanie Davis is on. Cheryl is on. So I have Stephanie on Facebook. I have Cheryl on Instagram. Good morning, ladies. How are you? Happy cold Sunday morning if you're in Chicago. Stephanie Davis and Stephanie Nichols. Good morning, good morning. Hey, to both of the Stephanies, you're in St. Louis, am I correct? Carolyn's on, good morning. Let me know where you two ladies are, Stephanie Davis and Stephanie Nichols. I think you're both in St. Louis, but I'm not sure. Carolyn's on, again, Cheryl is on, my sister's on. Instagram, thank you ladies for joining me. Angela's on, good morning. Correct. Okay, you're both in St. Louis. Thank you, ladies. Thank you all for getting up and joining me this morning, this cold morning in Chicago. It was, I think I saw that it's 13 degrees. I was like, ooh, yes, 13 degrees. It's not even winter time yet, but it's all good. And I think with the wind chill, it's about 1 degrees. And I've been hanging out for the last 3 or 4 days, nights, so I can barely talk this morning. Judy's on. Good morning, Judy. Good to see you. This is what you get when you try to be grown and knowing that I am not that grown. But I did get up this morning excited to spend a little bit of time with you. Thank you so much for getting up and joining me. You know, ladies, I appreciate you. And you know I don't take your time for granted. So happy Sunday morning. Happy Sunday before Thanksgiving. I hope you ladies are doing well and you're all prepared for Thanksgiving, whether you're making dinner at home for your families or you're traveling or whatever you're doing. I hope it's going to be a great Thanksgiving for you. So good morning. And remember, as you come on, just type in good morning. Give me a wave, a shout out or something so that I can call out your name because, again, this is one of my favorite parts of getting up and doing the You Have the Power message on Sunday mornings. I get a chance to hang out with you, and when I can call out your name, I feel like I'm looking at your face. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see you. Got my coffee, got my heat turned up high. That's a blessing because there's so many people. You know, we got homeless people, and there's so many people that are living, under circumstances that may not be as warm. So, yeah. Judy says, happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you as well. Yeah, but I have my heat cranked up. I have my coffee. And I've been thinking about what I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about this week. So it's all good. It's a good day. It's a good day. So wait about another minute, and then we'll get started. And I'm not going to lie. A friend of mine said that I saw her earlier in the week, and she said, are you going to church Sunday? I said, well, let me know if you want to go and I'll come with you. She wants to attend my church, and I've gone for the last 2 Sundays. I'm not going to lie. Today, I'm getting back in bed. I am, like I said, been hanging out these last 3 nights. It's cold. I'm just going to have to watch the service online this morning. I'm not even going to lie. So I'm going to text her when I get off this call and let her know I am not going. So if she wants to go, she's going to have to go without me this morning. Good morning, Paula. Good to see you. Ladies, again, happy Sunday before Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for getting up and joining me. I truly appreciate you. I have been thinking about my words and using my words very carefully. And I'm very much aware. I mean, I've been doing this for a while, and I'm very much aware of the words that I use. And I find myself now when I use words that are going against what I desire, normally it triggers my mind and I can change it immediately. But I've been doing it for a while. But the other day, I found myself saying, I can't. And I'd said it a few times before it triggered my mind, and I caught it. So I had to stop. So I just stopped for a minute. I just stopped and became very present and very much aware that I was using the word I can't. And I said, Eva, what's going on here? And I was finding myself falling back into the old habit of using words that are going against what it is that I desire. So this morning, I thought it would be a good time to just spend a few minutes talking about speak the language. And do you need to learn a new language? So that's what I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about, speak the language. Because you have to, your language must be aligned with what it is you desire. And we've talked about that before. We've talked about that often. So of course I went on the computer and I did a little bit of research. So it's like, I just asked the question, how long does it take to build a new habit? A new habit of speaking positive words, a new habit of speaking words that are aligned with what it is you desire. And what I found that it takes 18 to 254 days to build a new habit. And maybe that's why, but I've been doing this for a long time. Maybe that's why I was using the word I can't. But again, I became still, became very present, and realized that I'm going backwards, slipping back into old habits, using words that are going against what it is that I desire. So the question I have, are you aware of the role your language plays in summoning what is going on in your life? Because if I'm saying I can't, then guess what? The universe will serve us exactly what it is that we're speaking or whatever emotion or thoughts that we're putting out there. So if I'm saying I can't, the universe is saying, well, you're right, you won't. So that's why I wanted to spend a few minutes just talking about the language. Do you need to learn a new language? Speak the language. Speak what it is that you desire. And are you aware of the words you speak into your life and over yourself? For instance, me, I was saying I can't. Some of us will say I'm having a hard time closing this deal. I say it all the time. I'm not able to sleep well at night. Well, if I say that, right, then I'm probably not. A lot of us will say I'm having a hard time losing weight and I'm having a hard time keeping it off. So what is the language that you're speaking? Are you speaking the language that is aligned with what it is you desire? And what is the language you're speaking regarding dating, money, I never have enough, your health? What is the language you're speaking? Even with a coworker, what is the language you're speaking? Oh, I never get along with that person. Well, if you're speaking that, then you probably won't ever get along with that person. You've already put that expectation out there in the universe. So think about it. Even the language you're speaking over your children. Just remember the role that language the role that language plays in summoning what is going on in your life. So use language to speak what you desire, not to speak of your situation as dire. I'm going to repeat that. Use your language to speak what you desire, not to speak of your situation as dire. So do you need to learn a new language? And just think about it. We have to be very cautious and aware what we're saying about ourselves and our circumstances. So instead of using words of defeat, maybe ask yourself what you can do to make it happen. And some people will say just speak it into existence, right? They say fake it until you make it. And some people are like, well, I can't because it's not real. Then find words that work for you. You know, like instead of saying I'm having a hard time closing this deal, maybe ask yourself the question, what can I do to close this deal? Remember, your mind has all of the answers. You just have to ask the question. And I say it all the time, and I caught myself saying this. I have a hard time sleeping at night. Sometimes I go to sleep, I sleep 2 or 3 hours, and I wake up. So I'm always saying, I have a hard time sleeping at night, and I'm catching myself. Eva, stop saying that. Stop saying that. So the question now I'm asking myself, what can I do to get a good night's sleep? What can I do differently? And instead of saying, if you're one of these people that have a hard time losing weight and keeping it off, and you keep telling yourself and keep telling yourself, and you're feeding yourself that, you believe it, so guess what? You have a hard time losing weight and keeping it off. So maybe you should ask, what can I do to lose this weight and keep it off? Ask yourself the question. Instead of saying, I can't afford what I want, maybe you could ask the question, how can I afford what I want? Now, there are words of manifestation. You could say, I can afford anything I want. Because if you're putting that out in the universe will deliver it to you over time. But again, some people will say, well, I really can't afford what I want, so I can't say that. Again, find words that work for you, but positive words that are aligned with what you desire. So if you don't feel comfortable saying, I can afford anything I want, then ask yourself the question, how can I afford anything I want? Because that's what you're putting out there. Now you're seeking the answers, but you're not saying, I can't. Because if you're saying I can't, and if you really want it, you're blocking it. Because the universe is going to serve you the energy that you put out there. If you're putting words of I can't, then you won't be able to. So, do you need to learn a new language? Think about it. You don't feel comfortable saying I can afford anything I want? How can I afford anything I want? And some people, and I hear people say this, I just can't get a break. Everything I try. And guess what? If you say that, you can't get a break. And maybe the question you should be asking yourself is, what can I do differently? Maybe that's it. What can I do differently? And some of us will say, I never have enough. And good things never happen for me. Ask yourself a different question. How can I have more than enough? And again, if you're comfortable with manifestations, I have more than enough. Speak it into existence. Fake it until you make it. Because what you have to do is get your mind to believe it. And remember, conscious and subconscious mind. I've talked about that. Conscious mind is the captain. Subconscious is the doer. It will go out. Whatever the captain is thinking, the subconscious mind will go out and make it happen. So do you need to learn a new language? Be careful of the words that you're speaking over yourself and your circumstances. So the decision to choose our choice of words is presented to us all day, every day. But most of the time, we're so caught up in this thing called living life, we don't even realize that it's our thoughts, words, and actions that create our lives. Because our life can show up no other way than the way we think it and speak it through our words. Talked about that last week. If you don't remember anything else, your life can show up no other way than the way you think it. thoughts, words, and actions create your life. So when you remember that nothing can come into your experience without you thinking and speaking it into existence, you will pay attention to your thoughts and words. What are you thinking and talking about? When you remember that nothing can come into your experience but without you thinking and speaking it into existence, you will pay attention to your thoughts and words, what you're thinking and talking about. And remember, I Googled it. I Googled it just this morning. How long does it take to change a habit? 18 to 254 days. And I've been doing this for a long time, practicing being present and aware. And I found myself saying, I can't. I was reverting back. And that's why I wanted to spend a few minutes this morning, just as a reminder, to think about what you want in your life and speak the language. And make it a habit of thinking, speaking, and focusing on what you want. And if you still have these old habits, think about, is it time for you to break out of these old habits, these thoughts and language patterns? Is it time to become more aware of your words and start training your mind to repeat more helpful, positive words that are aligned with what you desire? How disciplined are you? Can you be focused, aware, and disciplined enough to start changing your old habits and learning a new language? So when you think about it, just like when you go to the gym or start working out to tone your body, you have to be disciplined in order to get whatever desired outcome you want for your body. It's the same way about the language. You have to be disciplined because you can't change it without, first of all, being aware. Then number two, being disciplined to do something about it. You have to pay attention and make an effort. And over time, you will develop language that is positive and aligned with your desires. Again, I've been doing this and I still found myself saying, I can't. But even having this conversation today with you is going to help strengthen me, right? Like I caught myself after a few saying I can't the other day. This is just helping me further ingrain in my brain to use positive words that are aligned with my desires. So think about what you're saying. And using positive words allow you to project positive energy into the world. And this way, you're more likely to achieve what you desire. So if you have a desire, if you're using words I can't or negative words, then chances are you're probably not going to achieve what it is you desire. So think before you speak. Replace words of doubt with words of possibility. I am strong. I am committed. I have more than enough. I am. And remember, I am is the strongest words. I think I read this in the universe. Anything that you say after the words I am, the universe picks it up and will deliver it to you. So no more I can't. So I made a song out of it. I was saying I can't, and I was going to, I can. So I've been walking around the house this week going can. So I took the I can't and made a song. And I've just been dancing. I can. Yeah, it's 7:30 on Sunday morning, but I wanted to share that with you. I've been dancing, feeding my brain positive thoughts and using the dance. Because when you move, you use your body. When you're speaking, it sends a signal to your brain. So I can. So you find your own song, whatever words that you're using that are negative words, Change it to the positive. Find your own song. Use your body. I can achieve whatever it is I desire. Send a signal to your brain. So think about it. Be careful about what you are saying about yourself and your circumstances. You can't put yourself down and rise up to be and do what you want or what you're here to do. So think about it. Change your language all through the day. Speak positive words. And remember, you're strong, talented, you have experience, you're resilient, and capable of being and doing whatever it is you desire. Your life can show up no other way than how you think it will be. So set your mind on the outcome you wish to see and speak it into existence. So what are words? Mine this week was I can't. So my question for you, what is a word that you find yourself using that you have to stop and change? So I'll type mine is, my word is I can't. And I've changed it to a song. So I've gone from I can't to I can and changed it to a song. So I'm just interested, is there anyone else out there that have a word, has a word that they speak, and it's a negative word, and you catch yourself? Or now that I've had this conversation this morning, you're more aware. Is there a word that you use? I can't get a break. Is it I can't? I never have enough. Life is hard. It never works out for me. I can't close this deal. I can't lose this weight and keep it off. Is there a word or a phrase that you find yourself using, and starting today you want to be more aware of it, using your body to bring attention to your mind, or a song? I'm just interested. Am I the only one? I know it's 7:30 on Sunday morning, but I'm just interested in knowing if there anybody else out there, or are you all so in tuned to your words that you are speaking positive words over your life all day, every day? You've already changed your language. You're already speaking a new language. Stephanie, thank you. She said, I changed I hope to I'm hoping, because in my mind, I'm still speaking those things as if they were. Thank you for sharing that. So just be mindful. Don't be hard on yourself. I used to be hard on myself, and I'd go, Eva, what are you doing? But Stephanie Nichols said, mine is I don't have to I have enough, or whatever it is you want. But thank you. Anybody else? I'm kind of looking over here on Instagram. Great Men Forever joined, hey. .net joined, hey. Ruth Kennedy joined, hey. So anybody else? Words that you're using? Now you're more aware. Cheryl says, how can I change to? She changed it to, how can I? And remember, your brain has all the answers. You know, we look outside for answers, and we have all the answers inside. So if you just take a few minutes. And what's interesting, you know, my friends will say to me, because I always speak about how I hear that still small voice. Because I'll ask the question, you know, I'm a Christian, I'm like, God, how do I do this? You know, and I hear that still small voice, you know. And I hear it because I'm listening for it. You know, sometimes I'll get the answer, and then I realize, oh my God, I just got the answer to the question I asked. It doesn't always come the way you want it to come. It's so still and small, or somebody will say something, and then all of a sudden it's bing, that's the answer. So people ask me all the time, how do you hear that still small voice? Because I listen for it. So ask yourself the question, what can I do differently? How can I make this work? Instead of saying, I don't think I can close this deal. If you don't think you can close it, you won't. What can I do differently to close this deal? Or go in with the level of expectation. I know I'm going to close this deal. And just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Even if it doesn't happen the first time, don't get discouraged. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And eventually, your mind starts to believe it. And before you know it, it's like, dag, I've closed 5 deals this week. That you have the power this morning. I appreciate you getting up and joining me this morning. Thank you so very, very much. I don't know what you're doing for Thanksgiving, but I hope you're safe. I hope you have a wonderful time. I'm grateful for this platform, for Instagram and Facebook. I'm thankful. And I appreciate you getting up and joining me this morning. My sister's on Instagram. She's making her way to Chicago. She's going to hang out with me on Thanksgiving. I haven't seen her in a few years, so I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing her. Love and blessings to you and your family. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. My sister just wrote, this was on point today. We are creatures of habit, both good and bad. It's a constant battle to embrace positivity, given how life can be so violent at times. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Love and blessings to you and your family. If you're traveling, whatever you're doing, be safe. I appreciate you. See you back here next Sunday. Thanks. Bye.